Hello students, we'll continue chapter number 5, that is cell, the fundamental unit of life. We have already discussed about the discovery of the cell, and then we have also discussed about cell theory, and we have discussed about plasma membrane, osmosis, diffusion, and the three different types of solution in which the cell can be placed. So already we have discussed all these things in the previous classes. Now we will continue with our today's class, that is we are going to discuss cell wall. That is the next topic in your, after the plasma membrane, next topic given in your NCERT textbook. And after, in the same topic, we will discuss plasmolysis, and we will also discuss the activity 5.6, which will give us more idea about plasmolysis. So let us start with cell wall. Now cell wall is the outermost covering of the plant cells. Now it is not only present in the plant cell, but it is also present in the bacteria cell as well as the cells of fungi. So you have studied in your 8th class in chapter 8 differences between plant cell and animal cell. So the first difference which you have studied is that plant cell contains cell wall, but the animal cell does not have a cell wall. Now in the animal cell, the outermost covering is called as the cell membrane, and outer to the cell membrane, plant cells have one more extra covering that we call it as a cell wall, and the cell wall is hard and rigid in nature. So let us discuss about cell wall, and let us discuss about the structure of the cell wall and the functions of the cell wall in the life of plant cell, bacteria cell, and fungi cell. Now cell wall, in, as you can see the first point, in addition to the plasma membrane, there is another rigid outer covering. What is rigid? Rigid means hard outer covering. Hard, rigid means hard. It is a hard outer covering which is called as the cell wall, and it is present outside the plasma membrane. Okay, now the cell wall lies outside the plasma membrane. I have already told you that, and it is hard and rigid because it is made up of a compound called as cellulose. Now cellulose, what is cellulose? Cellulose is a complex substance. It is a carbohydrate. Okay, and it provides structural strength. It is a rigid hard substance. Now the plant cell does, it is the cellulose is the main component or the main constituent of the cell wall, but apart from the cellulose, it also had hemicellulose. I mean, the cell wall contains cellulose, hemicellulose, lignin, pectin, and there are many other proteins are also there. Okay, so there are a lot of things present in the cell wall, but the main compound present in the cell wall is cellulose, which gives it rigidity to the cell. Okay, now the cell wall is porous. Now what do you mean by porous? Porous means the substances can easily move, or they can freely move through the cell wall. So cell wall does not stop anything to enter or to leave. The substances can easily move inside the cell wall, and they can easily exit the cell wall. But remember that cell membrane is selectively permeable membrane. It only allows selected substances to move in and out of the cell. And the last point here is the cell wall is dead in nature. Okay, now cell wall have is not a living structure, it is a dead structure. Okay, now apart from these points, you can also note that cell wall gives shape to the cell. Cell wall is a protective layer to the plant cell, bacteria cell, and the fungi cell. Okay, so cell wall gives support to the cell. Okay, so these are the some of the functions of the cell wall. Now we are going to see a very important function of the cell wall, is that it protect the cell from extreme hypotonic solution. Now what is hypotonic solution? The solution in which the water concentration is more is the hypotonic solution. Now let us see here. As you can see here in the first point, the cell walls permit the cells of plants. I told you plants have a cell wall, fungi have a cell wall, and bacteria also have a cell wall to withstand, means to remain alive in very dilute. Very dilute means hypotonic external media without bursting. Now what does this mean? Now let us try to understand this with the help of an diagram. Now let us see the diagram here. Now if we keep the plant cell and the animal cell in the same solution, that is hypotonic solution, so what will happen? Now because the solution is hypotonic means it has more water and the cytoplasm has got less water, so more water will go inside the cell, in the plant cell as well as in the animal cell. Now as the animal cell is having only a cell membrane, more water will go in and in and in, and the cell will become swollen and swollen, and ultimately the cell will burst. Okay, so the animal cell will burst when we keep in extreme hypotonic solution, as you can see here in the first figure. Now in the second figure, the plant cell will not burst when we keep in extreme hypotonic solution. Now why it does not burst, let us see that. In such media, the cells tend to take up water by osmosis. So in such medium, in the hypotonic solution, the cell will take the water. Now when the water will enter the cell, what will happen? The cell will swell, and this swollen cell will apply pressure on the wall, and that pressure is called as turgor pressure. As you can see here, I have written here, the cell swells building up pressure against the cell wall, and this pressure is called as turgor pressure. Now when this cell will apply pressure on the wall will also apply equal pressure on the cell, and that pressure which is applied by the wall is called as the wall pressure. Now the wall exerts an equal pressure against the swollen cell, so the swollen cell will apply the pressure on the wall, that is called as turgor pressure, and the wall also apply the pressure on the swollen cell, that is called as the wall pressure, and both are equal, and but they are in opposite direction, so they will cancel out each other. But in the case of animal cell, there is no cell wall. The swollen cell will apply the pressure on the cell membrane, and the cell membrane will simply burst, because there is the cell membrane cannot apply so much of pressure on the swollen cell, so simply it will burst. But the plant cell will not burst because it has a rigid cell wall. Okay, so because of their walls, such cells can withstand much greater changes in the surrounding medium than animal cells. So animal cells will burst, but the plant cells will not burst. Let us try to understand this by this. One more figure is there. You can see a cell is there. This is a plant cell, and the water is entering into the plant cell. These three red arrows are there, and these tell that water is entering into the cell, and this water will make the cell swollen, and it will apply turgor pressure. Where is this turgor pressure applied? It is applied on the cell wall, and the cell wall will apply the wall pressure on the swollen cell. So wall pressure and turgor pressure are equal and opposite, and they will cancel each other. So the cells of bacteria, cells of plants, and cells of fungi will not burst, and they can easily survive or withstand in extreme hypotonic solution. Now let us move to the next topic for today, that is plasmolysis. Okay, now what is plasmolysis? Now let us read the definition. When a living plant cell, remember that we are talking here about living plant cell. When a living plant cell is kept in hypertonic solution. What is hypertonic solution? The solution which have less water is called as hypertonic solution. You can see my previous video where I have explained hypertonic and hypotonic solutions. If you cannot understand, it loses. When a living plant cell is kept in a hypertonic solution, the cell or the living plant cell will lose the water because of osmosis or through osmosis, and there is shrinkage or contraction of the contents along with the cell membrane, and they will move away from the cell wall, and this phenomena is called as plasmolysis. Let us try to understand it with the help of a diagram. So you can see in the figure A, this is a normal cell. Okay, now when we put this cell A in a plasmo in a hypertonic solution, so what will happen? Now plasmo the hypertonic solution is having less water and the cytoplasm is having more water. So what will happen? The water will move out of the cytoplasm and it will go into the solution. Okay, so more water will come out. So what will happen? Here you can see the cell is shrinking more in figure C, and in figure D you can see the cell has shrunk more. So you can see when we keep the living plant cell inside the hypertonic solution, the cell membrane, the cytoplasm, all will shrink. Why? Because the water is moving out of the cell. Now, but you can see one more thing, the cell wall is not changing the shape because the cell wall is hard and rigid. It is non-flexible, so it does not change the shape, but the cell membrane is flexible and it changes the shape. So only the cell membrane changes the shape, but the cell wall does not change the shape. So this process is called as plasmolysis and it takes place only in the living plant cells. So to show that it takes place only in the living plant cells, let us perform an activity, and this activity is 5.6 in your textbook. Now what is this activity? Mount the peel of a royal leaf in water on a slide. So we have to take the leaf, and from the leaf we have to take out the peel, and then we have to put it under the on the slide and then mount in water and see under the high power of the microscope. So what we will see here? We will see figure A like this, and what we will see, these dots are chloroplast which contain chlorophyll and they do photosynthesis. So we will see a normal cell, the figure A. Okay, now what we are going to do here, put a strong solution of sugar or salt. What is a strong solution of sugar or salt? A hypertonic solution. So when we put a hypertonic solution in on the leaf peel, what we are going to observe after a 2 or 3 minutes, we will see that plasmolysis will take place. So figure A will change to figure B, then C, and then it will change to D figure. Okay, so we will observe the phenomena of plasmolysis when we do this activity. Now let us do the second part of the activity. We will take the leaf, and then what we are going to do with the leaf now? We will put the leaf in the boiling water, and then we will perform the same activity which we have done in the previous experiment. So what we are going to do, we will take the leaf and mount it on, we will take out the peel from the leaf and mount it on the slide, and then put the strong hypotonic solution or a sugar or salt solution. What will happen? Now we will observe that there will not be any plasmolysis or there will not be any osmosis. Why? Because boiling has killed the cells of the leaf. So it shows that the plasmolysis or osmosis can only takes place in the living cells, not in the dead cells. Okay, so wait for a minute and observe it again. What do we find? Did plasmolysis occur now? Let us see here. What do we infer from this activity? From this activity, we will see that only living cells and not the dead cells are able to absorb water by osmosis. So we have studied today, we have studied about cell wall, the structure of cell wall, the function of cell wall, how the cell wall protects the cell in extreme hypotonic solution. Then we have studied about plasmolysis, and we have studied that plasmolysis can only take place in the living plant cells, not in the dead plant cells. Okay, I hope these topics are clear to all of you. Stay well and study well. Thank you, students.